Hello and welcome back everybody. It's Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. My 13-year marriage ended because one day my son was telling me about my wife's friend, a man that had played with him at the park. Now let's find out everything about it in today's story. Also, if you enjoy what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
My wife and I, in our mid-30s, been together since we were both around 20. Met her while in the military, and she moved across a few states to start our life back where I was raised. I had a very good job lined up, so we started our life. We have two beautiful boys, 11 and 8. From the outside, we look like the perfect family. I coach my oldest son's travel team, and am active in stuff around our city and sports. Have a great job, and my kids are great kids. Seems perfect until in 2015. My wife had a minor breakdown and went to a doctor who diagnosed her as bipolar. Been on meds ever since. It seems manageable, but it's so hard to keep things even-keeled sometimes. Prior to having the breakdown, and what led up to the breakdown, was an affair. She would go shopping once a month or something minor, and I would have fun with our young kids, who at the time were 4 and 1.
The wife was a stay-at-home mom, so for a short time, OP thought she just needed time to relax away from the kids.
I noticed after the third trip that she hardly ever responded to texts. She would show back up with a few items, and you could tell that she had been drinking. So after a total of about 6 trips out, she had a mini breakdown and went and got help. We could both tell she needed help for her erratic behavior and impulsive actions. On one of those trips, I was working a night shift, and when I got home at 5 that morning, she wasn't home. Her excuse was she fell asleep on her friend's couch. From there, after meds and therapy, she seems to have become a better person. The drinking stopped, the trips by herself stopped, but something wasn't right, and I knew it.
Fast forward to 2019.
I remember my son telling me about a guy that had played with them at the park that day. My wife had said it was her friends, a group of them that had met at a mom's club in town. These events took place around 2015. So, in 2019, after an intense fight, I decided that I'm finally going to investigate on what had happened. I find out the guy, contacted him, and all broke loose. He tells me that my wife had him thinking they were a serious item for a few months. She had told him that we were in the process of getting a divorce, which was not true. He was straightforward and told me that they had seen each other roughly 8 times, once at my house while I was working. After confronting my wife, they both claimed that they broke it off, but I have no idea. After finding out, I packed my bags and prepared to move out and go the divorce route. I contacted both parents, and both sets were supportive of me leaving. When confronted, she acted very sorry, said she would fix everything for our family, and that she would prove through actions. I was irate, extremely hurt, and felt awful for my 2 boys, who were about to have their life ruined because of my wife's selfishness and betrayal. I treaded water, made her answer an insane amount of questions, explained things in hurtful detail, which she did, and that broke me. It hurt me so badly. So bad.
OP stayed for the kids and continued to do so, although he can't seem to get past what happened.
It hurt so badly, and there are good days and very bad. My wife is very, very attractive, and she knows it. She cheated down, as this guy was a real piece of work, in a bad way. Today, I'm torn. She has opened everything up, out in the open, and I do truly believe she hasn't gone back yet, but I can't help but think she won't do it again. I can't shake it. I hate this for my kids more than anything. I constantly think about the details and lose hope. I'm ranting, but we are the perfect example of a family that looks perfect from the outside, but everything is wrong inside closed doors. Supportive family, I just hate to lose my kids, who I love more than life itself. I guess I'm just ranting at this point.
End of part 1. We have the community responses and the update coming up. But before that, if you're enjoying the story so far, please give this video a thumbs up so this video will reach more and more beautiful people like you around the world. The first comment is by Switchboard Friend.
One of the things that really bothers me is about her representing herself as being in the process of divorcing to AP. You assume she was lying because you didn't get the papers and nothing tangible happened. You don't seem to have considered that she might have been honest with the AP and in her head she was strongly considering divorce. The betrayed partners are often the last to know. She was certainly chasing him and very keen to be an item with him. I'd bet that if he had been more forthcoming that you would have found out that she wasn't lying to the AP. She would have divorced once she felt secure enough that there was a future with him. You were close to coming home one day to a house that had been emptied of belongings and an envelope with your name on it on the kitchen worktop. Her choice of AP was one of availability. She didn't pick him because he was amazing, she chose him because he was there. This isn't a great indicator for future loyalty. OP's reply: I honestly do believe she contemplated divorcing, or she knew acting that way would only help her. She later told me that when she did it, she made sure it was out of our network and 2 hours away. He's been to my house once, apparently while I worked my bottom off one night. You make a lot of good points, very accurate I feel. I think he didn't care either way, but she did say he begged her to leave me and be with him. For whatever reason, I guess post-breakdown, maybe she saw what she was going to do to her kids. I don't know.
Second comment is by Kiltriya Naveen.
I don't know what to say here, but I personally believe she stopped because she got caught, not because she really wanted to do it, and she was ignoring you for an outside guy who is far from your house. It shows how important he was for her. If she cheats again, so definitely in a more smart way, so you can't find out her reality, I can't even suggest you leave because kids are involved here, but you can go for part-time parenting. You are in your 30s, so you still have time to find a partner who really deserves your love, and I can bet if you leave her, she would start dating that outside guy without wasting any time. OP's reply: I think I should have wrote more, but the affair lasted 6 months in 2015 to 2016. When I said they both said they ended it, I meant they both claimed that they chose to end it, not that it continued. All the crazy behavior slowed down after seeing docs, and she never went out, etc. I had remembered out of nowhere what my son had said years before, and it somehow just clicked for me. I feel like she got better, but didn't come clean after she got help. I was forced to find out years later.
Third comment is by Horror Perception 50.
Please seek individual therapy and see a divorce lawyer to talk over the possibilities of getting the kids and custody if you ever choose to divorce her. Ask yourself, is she sorry because she cheated, or she is sorry because you found out? Personally for me, cheating is a deal breaker and I would never take them back. OP's reply: I do believe she is sorry and had a mini breakdown because of her decision to have an affair and run out on her toddlers. After she got on meds, her behavior did a 180, but it was years later that I had to do detective work and discover what had caused that random breakdown years prior. So, it's been 2 years since I've known, and I still think about it daily. I feel like less of a man, and I'm disgusted by her. I'm fighting for my kids, but don't know if I'll ever get past being able to trust again.
Now it's time for the update.
I'm moving ahead with divorce. I've had a lot of time to think, and I've done so for years. Obviously, I'm still here for my kids, but some of you made me realize that they do see the sadness at times, or us not getting along, etc. It does affect them to an extent. This sucks so badly. I'm not worried about myself or my wife. I want the best for my kids because they are all I live for. My hurdle is, my wife has started to realize that it's the end of the line for me and sees where it's headed. She's begging constantly, crying, do whatever she can to rein me back in. My problem is she is gaslighting my kids. She now talks bad about me openly, and I can tell from her past will continue this so she looks like the better person. Does anyone have any advice for that? It bothers me more than anything. My boys are pretty smart, but they're also young enough that they'll believe anything. Should I sit down with them alone? Once my wife fully comes to terms with me leaving, she will go mental, which I expect. She will do anything to try and make me look bad. I don't care, but I do care what my kids think. Anybody have any advice that you've had experiencing this?
End of the story. Well, OP, never catch yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Your kids will survive if you are in a good place for yourself. A loyal wife can become a cheater, but a cheater can never return to be a loyal wife. She destroyed your marriage and you're the only one that seemed to think you still have one. Get out and get your life together. If you are concerned about your kids' welfare, be the best dad you can be for them. You cannot do that by staying with her. Good luck, brother. Well guys, we have reached to the end of the story. But before we go, let's listen to a few comments by the beautiful community. The first comment is by Plain Simple Forever.
So what did she tell you was the reason for her cheating? OP's reply: that during that time period we fought non-stop and that I never gave her attention, which may be partly true due to how much I work. I work a 12-hour swing shift at a power plant, but she's also the type of person that eats up any attention shown to her by anybody. She has daddy issues, and at that time, I believe if a bedroom door could have told her she was pretty, she would have slept with it or talked to it. But as of today, when it's brought up, she blames being bipolar and personality disorders that were not medicated, which, with lithium, she does seem like a completely different person. But I don't buy bipolar.
Second comment is by Clayman Sayman 8472.
So, did you get custody of kids? Did you divorce her? Any updates on your present life? OP's reply: no, still married. I found out 2 years ago. Been in pain ever since. I foolishly thought it would over time get pushed back. I feel terrible. No idea how a mom can do that to her boys. So selfish. I'm at the point where I need to pull the trigger on either divorcing or trying to save it. I tell myself, more than not, that I would want to divorce, but time after time, in my mind, I cannot possibly fathom life without my kids to hug every day. I love my boys, and we have so much fun together. They would be devastated. I've pretended to care for 2 years now. Could I do it for 10 more years until they're 18? I don't know.
Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.